Welcome to Audible Interlude, a G.I. Joe podcast. I am your host, Dave West, codename Phantom Troublemaker.
And I am your co-host, Noel Wood, codename Crapshoot.
And I'm your Cobra intern who is not headed to Georgia looking for a soul to steal, codename Legion Cub.
Oh.
But you're not denying that you're the devil.
That is true.
Okay.
The devils do.
The intern went up to Georgia. Follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. Be sure you subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. But the most important thing you can do is share the show. Whether you do it on your podcast app, in social media, wherever you go, let people know about this show. It's the biggest way that you can help us out. And I want to go ahead and get this out of the way. A few weeks ago, I did kind of a tutorial about how to repost stuff on Instagram, because that's really the best way you can help us out. Because when you hit that little button, it gets our stuff in front of eyes that wouldn't normally see it. And I'll tell you right now, a lot of you have been reposting, and it has made a huge difference in our visibility on Instagram. So I really, really appreciate it. That it takes a millisecond to repost something, but it does us a world of good. And look, if people see it and they're like, oh, what's this Audible Interlude? And they check us out and we're not for them. And trust me, we're not for everybody. We're told from time to time how not for everybody we are. But maybe some cool people see us, and we get some new members of the Audible Army to hang out and have fun talking about G.I. Joe and other stuff. So thank you, everybody that has been hitting that repost button. It really does make a huge difference. Like I can see it in our, social media, the difference in engagement and in views that we're getting. So thank you for that. Speaking of social media, follow us on Instagram at Audible Interlude Podcast. While you're there, check out the pinned stories. Get yourself some Audible Interlude merchandise, hats, shorts, shirts, mouse pads, stickers, all kinds of different stuff. Lots of different colors, sizes. We've got a number of different designs that you can choose from. And if we see you at a live event such as Joe Fest that is coming up this weekend, then you will get one of the exclusive brand new Audible Interlude Got That Swag buttons. That's right. The only way that you can get one of these buttons right here is by wearing Audible Interlude merch and running into us at a live event in person. Each of us, wherever we are, each of us will have a small supply of these. So if Kristian's wandering around at Dragon Con and he's in the gaming track, but he runs into somebody with an Audible Interlude shirt, boom, you're going to get a button. If Noel is dining at the top of the Hilton, whatever that is, I can't remember what it's called. Nikolai's Roof at Dragon Con, and sees you wearing some Audible Interlude shorts, boom, you're going to get a button. Now, you're going to have to tell them. You're going to have to say, hey, guys, can I get my button? But exclusive buttons.
Yes, I'm not just checking out everybody's shorts, because trust me, there's a lot of dudes in shorts at Dragon Con.
But actually, not really. There's a lot of dudes in kilts in Dragon Con.
Oh, that's a good point. So Audible Interlude kilt coming soon.
Utility kilt.
Yeah,
utility kilt. Yeah. But anyway, I'll have the first run of these available this weekend at Joe Fest. So wear your Audible Interlude gear, and if you haven't ordered it already, it's too late.
Tactikilt.
Oh man, curse you, Noel, because all I need is some good wordplay to feel like something has to be made. The only problem is I don't know if any of the three of us would wear a tactikilt. I'm not a kilt person.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so we need to get. So we definitely need a Cobra intern tactikilt. All right, we'll get to work on that. I feel like we can make that happen. All right. Oh yeah, the Tactikilt T-shirt. That's actually, yeah, that's what we need. Is Kristian doing the Marilyn Monroe in the Tactikilt? That
right outside the entrance to Joe Fest as the
yeah.
parachute drop happens.
Yeah, that's it.
Hi, Joe.
So anyway, Audible Interlude podcast on Instagram. Be sure you're following us there to keep up with everything that's going on. You can also join the Audible Army Facebook group. The link is at the top of the chat if you're watching us live. If you're not watching us live, you can send a message to Audible Interlude Podcast on Instagram with your email address, and we will do our best to get you added. It doesn't always work because Meta is terrible and is a blight on humanity. But it's all we got, so we do our best. Let's see. What else we got going on here? Oh, speaking of social media, speaking of reaching people, our next Audible Interlude live stream right here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. The final live stream of JUN is next Monday, June the 29th, and it is the 6th anniversary of the first official episode of Audible Interlude.
Oh my gosh.
So not only will we be celebrating the end of JUN, we will be celebrating our Audible anniversary.
And listeners, I have my fingers crossed. It will be our first live stream during this month. We don't have to talk about Dusty.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
I think they've used up all their promotional material for him now. Or
Look,
I will be surprised on Wednesday.
I don't know about
They announced
Dusty,
the Desert Fox and they pose him in it.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know about Dusty. I just don't need to talk about Sandstorm's swole legs anymore, which tonight that lies ahead. So be ready. All right. So I mentioned we're on the Needless Things YouTube channel where you can find not only Audible Interlude live streams, but also toy reviews, not just G.I. Joe, but all kinds of different stuff. And my review for there he goes. I had such a cool pose going on, which he holds relatively well. A couple little spots of blue tack, and he would stay there pretty nicely. So Destro and the Despoiler. And I'll just say this because obviously I want everybody to watch my review tomorrow. It is a mixed bag, a real mixed bag. I get into it in the review. It's a long review because there is so much to discuss, so many things to consider, and it's going to be an interesting conversation in the comments because the people that don't like this are going to be extremely hateful about it, and the people that do like it are going to feel like they have $110 investment in defending it. So I think this is going to be a much talked about release. Yeah.
It's
so
big.
The spoiler goes up tomorrow.
Spoiler alert.
Just spoiler alert. Yeah. This guy, the Dire Tech Night Creeper, that review goes up sometime in the future. It's not going to be soon because there's too much other, like, more exciting stuff coming out, but he's pretty good. And then these guys, Taurus and Red Dog, that review's probably going to be next week. I might be able to get it done before Joe Fest. If so, it'll go up on Thursday, but I don't know. I got a lot of Joe Fest stuff I got to get done. So that's all coming soon on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Be sure you're subscribed. Be sure you share, do all that stuff you need to do. Even more social media. Look at this. We're most of the way through the JUN Audible Interlude Instagram prompts, and I have kept up with it all month. I'm very proud of myself for that. It's been a lot of fun figuring out like what I want to do with all these pictures. Some of them have been a little more simple. Some of them I've put a little more pizzazz on. But this has been fun. So check it out on Instagram, Audible Interlude Podcast. Tag your pictures with hashtag AIPodYojoJune and play along at home. And I'll definitely do it again next year. And probably try to find excuses to do things like that in other months because it is fun. But it does also take kind of a lot of effort. Schedule, I already mentioned next week is our Audible anniversary and the final live stream with JoJoJune. But we've also got some Joe Fest business we have to talk about. Joe Fest, the official account, put up this schedule today. And there are some things that need to be clarified. So our panel is at 10 a.m. on Saturday. You do not need a VIP pass to get into our panel, even though 10 a.m. is the early bird admission, because the panel room is the Oglethorpe, which is the one that's upstairs, and you can get in without going through like the badge check. So no, you do not have to have a VIP pass to attend our panel. So please do come on by, show up for the panel. And our panel, speaking of, creating is half the battle. We are doing a special live Joe Fest panel with folks from the G.I. Joe 3D Printing Podcast. In attendance will be Shane Long from shellsavers.com, Mark Gerwig from Mark II Design and Mark II Toys, Artoine Poire from Viper Pit Toys, and Michael Kleppinger from Techno Viper 3D. We are going to get into how these folks do all the stuff that they do. I am constantly amazed at the output of these 3D printers and customizers and the things that they're able to create, the things that they think of, how their minds work, how their processes work. We're going to get into all of that. It's going to be very different from any other Audible Interlude panel, and I think it's going to be very popular. My plan is to live stream it, but your best bet is to be there watching it. That's all I'll say about that. So 10 a.m. Saturday in the Oglethorpe room at Joe Fest. Come hang out and have some fun talking about the creativity that goes into all this stuff these folks make for G.I. Joe toys and other things. So, have you guys had any? Now we're saving one hot item or a few hot items for Joe and Tell. But if you guys got anything else that's got the shipping soon notification or stuff is on the way in?
Stuff I mentioned last week, but it has not arrived yet.
Yeah, I was hoping for a Christmas miracle with some of those figures showing up today or tomorrow, but still nothing.
So, Kristian, you mentioned you saw a Professor Rockclaw in the wild.
Yeah, so actually, I am not one to always say play the waiting game, but listeners, I think you're going to be safe playing the waiting game with this one, because on my way home from work today, I had to stop by Walmart, and there were 8 of them. And that is where I saw them the first time, and there were 3. So I don't, either they're restocking those faster than they are the regular figures, or that $52 price point means
for a character that is not nostalgic for anybody. Yeah.
And that was my response. I saw it in person at Walmart the other day. And you know what? I didn't count how many they had. They had multiples, and it could have been 6 or 8. I mean, it was, you saw it was deep. It was deep. And I picked it up. I looked at it and decided that I didn't need it. And part of it was, Noel, what you just said. Like, well, one, the dinosaur.
Fred White says life finds a way. Yes.
The dinosaur is a little bit smaller than I was expecting. And the figure, as you said, I don't have any attachment to that figure. And then because I saw it in Walmart and then went to Target, because they're right next to each other, basically. So that's what I always do. And when I went to Target, I was like, you know what? Not only is it not the most satisfying Joe set ever, but if I'm going to spend $53 on a dinosaur, why would I not buy a big, giant, awesome dinosaur? Especially, look at that thick boy down on the bottom right there. I don't even know what that is, but my gosh, if that doesn't look like something that came out of Mindbender's lab.
You very safely avoided that last Jurassic Park movie.
Is that the thing that was
the thing with the little vestigial arm?
Oh yeah,
inside the big arm.
I don't know that they did a great job of representing that guy. I actually enjoyed the last Jurassic Park movie. I thought it was a good time, but I've enjoyed all of them to some extent. But maybe it's because my expectations are not super high.
I think if they can get the price point for him down to 40, I would be more tempted to get him. As a figure, he already has a lot of paint applications on him. So this is going to sound petty, but I am. The mask for the dinosaur to put on it just looks like a silver chunk of plastic. Like there's no paint detail to it. Everything involving the dinosaur outside of the dinosaur itself, to me, looks very chap made.
It did. It looked very cheap.
And I was like, no.
Throw up Brett's last comment there.
It was as good as any of the sequels.
And see, that's where I stand, is that, and this is just me, my personal opinion about Jurassic Park. The first one is an exceptional film.
Perfect movie. And perfect.
Everything after that, I don't love it as much as a lot of people do. Because I loved the book, and the differences between the book and the film are jarring to me. But I think it's an exceptional film. It's definitely a great Spielberg flick. But everything after that has been like entertaining at best. There are no like classics in beyond the first Jurassic Park.
I like The Lost World, but it's because it's so different from the first one. But after that, they just none of them are.
So Rexship is chiming in. He says Distortus Rex is its name.
Nice, I like that.
And
it's Venomous Maximus's pet. It's Distortus Rex.
He has the set, and the dino is singing back up with Cold Slither in his display. So I am amused by that, even more so by the fact that it's a dinosaur whose name is Distort. Well, Distortus.
He's got a heck of a pedal set up.
Yes.
So Big Bad, Overkill, and Airtight are in my pile of loot, but I know I'm not going to be able to review anything new in the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to wait and see if the ambassador of Raleigh, I don't know how to pronounce Riley, whatever it is, and Dr. Rand from Operation Monster Force come in, because I got the email like a week ago that they would be processing soon, but I didn't get any notification about these Joes, but they're in my pile of loot. So I figure in the next couple of days, those Monster Force figures are going to come in, and then I'll ship everything at the same time, because it doesn't, there's no time need on those. As long as I get them by not this weekend, but next weekend, that's plenty of time. Oh, and I got a notification today, right after those guys hit my pile of loot. I got the notification that Grunt is going to be, the retro cardback Grunt is going to be arriving soon, which is nice because I bagged up my original Grunt, classified Grunt, to bring to Joe Fest and sell. Oh, yeah, I didn't mention. So last Thursday, I spent basically the whole day pricing stuff for Joe Fest. So I will be in the lobby swap both nights with some pretty good stuff. The deals are not as good as they were the last two times I sold stuff, because now I'm in more of a, like, then it was more about like get it out, but now it's more like, hey, get me some money. So it's still, I feel like my prices are still very, very fair, but they're not as it's not like a giant pile of $5 Marvel Legends. But I got a lot of stuff incoming, so be ready for that.
I considered it because I'm going to be there, overnight, but I just don't want to haul a bunch of stuff. And then, like I learned at Retro Toy Con last year, I hauled a bunch of stuff up, and then I wound up having to haul a bunch of stuff back, and it's like, it's not worth it. It's
I am fairly confident it'll be worth my time. We'll find out. All right. Well, and I will mention, if you see the banner that is active right now, support us in the super chat. Anything you can throw our way goes back into the production of the show, whether it be hosting or supplies for buttons like this. Whatever the case, anything you contribute financially goes directly into the show. So that help is appreciated as well. But again, the absolute best thing that you can do is spread the word. Share Audible Interlude on the socials, wherever you go. With that, it is time for some news. All right. So we have very little news from outside of Classified because, look, when you do 5 live streams in a month, the other news kind of dries up. So we're going straight into the Yojo June Pulse live stream from June the 17th. We only have one more live stream after that, 2 days from now on the 24th, and I will try to remember. I completely forgot about the 17th one.
I never even watched it. I just saw everybody's wrap-ups of it.
I mean, if you've seen the first 2, you saw this one minus
right.
some
well, there are a few little nuances. I would say anybody that's hosting a G.I. Joe podcast should probably watch the live stream. But moving on. So final live stream is 24th, this Wednesday. Everybody try to remember, and we'll be covering whatever comes up on that one this coming Monday. We start off once again with B-Mac and Dan Larson. I like Larson's shirt. I think I've seen that on Amazon before, but that is a very cool shirt of the Wild Weasel Ace confrontation. We got an announcement, a great announcement from friend of the show, Ross friend of the show from Cold Slither about the concert, a Celebration of Life concert, which is hilarious because this is the apology tour for killing Optimus Prime 40 years ago, featuring Knights of Unicron and new kids on the scene. We don't know who they are. We don't know anything about them. Cold Slither and Gem, which I believe the Gem band features Britta. What's her name?
Samantha.
No, not Samantha. The singing voice of Gem.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's Britta.
Yeah, I believe this band features her.
Okay, because I know there's a con just here recently. Because Samantha posted it on her page where her and Britta were announced as doing a concert together.
Oh, okay. So it may be both of them,
because that would be beyond awesome. That would be outrageous, truly.
Yes, absolutely. So we got an announcement about that, which is very cool. I would love to be there. Not going to happen. And then we'll go ahead and get this out of the way. We got a commercial for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles G.I. Joe crossover line.
Turtle Power! Yo, 2 legends, 1 hero! Real reptilian heroes!
Move in, now!
AWE, Shell Striker, go!
Shipwreck Mikey and Dial-Tone Donnie, do recon. Destro Krang and Dreadknocker Bebop, dead ahead!
Yeah!
Shipwreck Mikey, flank right!
Nobody gets past me! Turtle Fly Copter, coming in hot! Locked on, fire! Boost dump incoming!
Cobra Commander Shredder just got
Shell Shocked! Real reptilian heroes! TMNT and G.I. Joe figures and vehicles sold separately.
So that was awesome.
Am I a terrible Joe fan that I loved this commercial more than the other live action ones they've done in the past?
Well, felt this felt more like a Ninja Turtles commercial than the other ones felt like G.I. Joe commercials. And I think that's only, but my guess is that's only because the G.I. Joe ones were done. Somebody at Hasbro was like, we should do a commercial. Okay, cool. That's a really good idea. Cool. What's our budget? Whereas I think Playmates actually had a budget for this commercial.
Am I also experiencing the same Mandela effect as, it always being pronounced Aw Striker, and they're saying AWE Striker?
Striker?
It's like when people say AT, and I'm like, no, it's an AT-AT. It's an AT-AT.
So let me ask you, Noel, because that's actually the very reference I was going to bring up. Let me ask you, how do you say ATST?
ATST.
Oh, you don't say ATST?
But people pronounced it AT-AT, and it was like unofficial communications at one point. So
that's how we
but
did
anyway, this made me want these even more than I did before. The commercial was so much fun. Everything looks great. I still haven't pre-ordered anything. We'll see what happens, because there's just too much coming out. And as much as I would love to have this like on a shelf in here somewhere, there are no empty shelves, you guys. Especially not big enough for a helicopter and an AWE Striker.
Now that I'm in the process of redoing the entire shelf walls, it makes me see things like this and be like, I might be able to fit this on the shelf. No, just don't buy any more. Don't buy any more than you normally would.
And that's the thing is, once I lock in to no, I do not need it, done, don't care, then I'm okay. But I haven't been able to turn that key on this quite yet. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But that was just a fun ad. I really dug it. And I love that they played it. I mean, well, the fact that they talked about this line at all, which in the past they have talked about, partnerships and things like that. But it's still exciting just to see Hasbro talking about like that. Well, especially knowing this is one of Playmate's last hurrahs with the Turtles. All right, so now let's get into the classified stuff. We'll start with, once again, discussing the Avalanche Rescue Trooper. My belief is that this is red.
It's a reddish orange to me.
I think it is red, like retro card back Crimson Guard red. But we will see. And I you know what I should have done? I should have put up the image of that what was
blue
it, the blue dress and the white
yeah.
dress or whatever it was.
I was just thinking that, or Yanni, Laurel.
So I think this is a cool figure. And if it was a bright orange like that Doc, I would be more tempted by it. But for me, this is just not anything I'm super interested in.
Completely unrelated, but as I was moving my Lego Star Wars stuff out of here and putting it on shelves in my living room, because I've decided it lives in there now to make more room in here. I was moving my Lego Twin Pod Cloud Car, which is made from entirely red bricks, but it doesn't help me from looking at it and saying, this is an orange vehicle, and my brain sees it as an orange vehicle. It's weird.
I mean, it is orange,
but the actual Lego
version you're talking about like the
made
Lego
of red bricks.
Red. That's weird.
But my brain sees it as orange because I know that the Cloud Car is orange.
That's bizarre, because that's one of my weirdly favorite Star Wars vehicles, and it is orange.
It's one of mine too, only because it was like one of 3 Star Wars vehicles I had as a kid. We had that discussion not too long ago.
It was just so much fun to fly around because you could you could hold it very easily.
Brett White chiming in with, I love that the most interesting thing about this figure all month long is the debate between red and orange. And all I got to say to that, Brett, is that's why it should have come with a St. Bernard.
St. Bernard would have put it over the top. Although at its $42.99 price point, you add a St. Bernard into that, and it's going to be like $70 or something.
I bought radioactive eyes for 60 so that I could get a bear. So
All right, so that brings us to Dusty and Sandstorm, even more full of controversy. So, oh wait, and I was going to mention real quick to go back to the Avalanche Trooper. So I watched this segment twice in the hopes that Dan or BMAC1 would reference the color of this thing, because right now we're looking at the render, and or actually no, that's just the piece. I think that's the actual toy, but it's the piece production. And I mean, this looks red. This could not look any more red to my eyes at this moment. But at no point did they mention what color this guy actually is. They just continued to refer to him as Vibrant. And also, BMAC mentioned you need something to, when they were talking about his flare gun, they said you need something to defend yourself in case a snow leopard attacks. And they both treated that comment as though it were significant. So I got to wonder if we're going to have a snow leopard in the Joe line, in the classified line soon. I would rather have a leopard seal so that Alpine could beat it to death with his gun. But anyway, moving on to other animals. Sandstorm, Dusty and Sandstorm. We got a look. We found out that the beret is not incorrectly tilted. How would you even describe that?
It was just, I mean, it's backwards on the original figure. Like the flash is over the wrong eye, and it's formed over the wrong side.
So right, yeah, I guess backwards would be right. And so 2 weeks in a row, they kept talking about how jacked Dusty is. But I mean, isn't it really just his arms are out? Like, I don't feel like those are for classified, for an action figure.
Size arms.
Yeah, I feel like they're just exposed. He's not really that big. Although if you look at the original figure, which I meant to include a picture of and totally forgot about this until right now, the original figure does have like some thick arms on him. And I wonder if it's because they used like some other bigger character's arms, because those were just the bare arms that they had available. I think this figure looks cool. I'm not paying $51.99 for him. And Sandstorm, we got to talk about Sandstorm.
Talk about some big arms.
Yeah, right. And maybe that's the reference they were supposed to be making, is that Sandstorm is the one that's jacked. Maybe they had some notes from Lenny, and it said, talk about how jacked this figure is, and they thought he meant Dusty, but he meant Sandstorm. That would actually explain that whole thing.
Yeah.
But I'll just say this: Timber's legs do not work on a coyote. This is an extremely strange looking canine.
Yeah.
Let me get the weirdest shot at that. That's the one where it really looks like a tank girl desert freak animal of some kind.
It looks like he's just got like drumsticks held up against his body.
Well, and I think that they also have that middle part of his leg, the back leg there, twisted. So his paw, I don't know, he has rickets.
Well,
you would think he's out in the sun enough. He lives in the desert. He wouldn't get rickets.
So I did a little research, which you guys know I absolutely hate. And I looked at lots and lots of images of coyotes. Specifically, I looked up, and I can't remember what they said, whatever kind of coyote this is. They referenced a specific Nevada coyote or something. I don't remember what they said. But the thickest coyote I could find was this fellow. Now, this is by a wide margin the thickest coyote I could find a picture of. And it looks nothing like this gentleman.
I feel like this is the first pet, because I mean, they've knocked them out of the park so many times, and I feel like this is the first one where we all collectively feel like they've kind of missed the mark a little.
A lot. I mean, it looks like the body works, the head works,
Mm-hmm.
the tail works, but those legs are just crazy. So anyway, there's nothing wrong with Dusty, but this is another one I'm going to pass on.
I said I'm hoping that this one will wind up getting, like, Target will get lots and lots of them in, and much like Professor Rotclaw, people will just look at it and be like, yeah, this is not the Dusty I remember, and they'll just pass on it, and then they'll be down to $26.99 at some point.
I don't. Same thing with the Rotclaw we were talking about. I don't know that I would buy this or that for any price.
If this were down to the price of a regular figure, I'd probably pick it up just to have the Dusty.
Yeah. So, interesting to see what can happen with these things sometime. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm so thrown off by these legs. I can't handle it. Oh, the biggest thing we got out of this segment is that BMAC mentioned that he did not name the retailer, but he mentioned that one retailer asked for a pets only set because the pets are so popular, which retailers apparently have a different perspective on that than those of us who see these things marked down all the time. But one retailer asked about a pets only set, and it is being considered, which is cool. I wouldn't mind that at all. Like, just even if they just did some cool repaints that anatomically make more sense than what we're looking at right now. But even if they just did some cool repaints, like, I wouldn't mind that. Throw out a regular bear, throw out well, that would need a little different tooling, but still, a pet set would be cool.
Well, I was thinking they could do a set related around the Cobra's creatures where they were hypnotizing all the animals, and so you had like the evil version of Junkyard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that would be cool. Okay, let's see. What else have we got here? Oh, we got some render reveals. Not that guy. Man, if that figure looked like that, I would be like, awesome, I'm in. That's really cool and different. All right, Iceberg, fine. We've been talking about him for years. Snowcat is on the way, so obviously Iceberg makes a lot of sense. What do you guys think of Iceberg?
Love him. I think he looks exactly how I wanted him to.
I like him a lot. I'm not sure about the gray on his chest, but it's not a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what that color really looks like. I wish that it had a little more blue-green to it, like the original figure. But, with these renders, you don't know until you see the real thing.
Yeah.
The snowboard's going to go in a drawer, but I don't mind them throwing it in just to give him some value. I kind of dig that they didn't go crazy and do, like, I think we even talked about at one point, the original Iceberg just came with a rifle. And I think we even talked about at one point, they'll probably make him a deluxe figure and throw in a bunch of extra junk. So I'm glad they didn't do that.
We could have thrown in an orca that he fit inside. That would have been nice.
Now that would have been amazing.
But I do think that poor Iceberg deserves a backpack. You were out in the Arctic all day. Come on. I would have much preferred that than the snowboard.
He's got plenty of room in that utility belt for all the frozen fudgy bars and grapes. Well, not Yojo Cola and whatever else he can fit in there. He's fine. He'll be okay.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a bedroll in there.
Well, that's
he
true.
doesn't need one. He has a
true.
Snowboard. He's not spending as much time out there. He's just zipping along where he needs to go.
Now that I'm looking at it, I'm actually kind of shocked. It looks like the goggles are just part of the hat rather than the normal situation where you have head goggles and hat goggles and neither one of them really fit right.
Well, is his hat, I wonder if his hat's, is it permanently fixed or does it?
I gotta think it's removable.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll see more details on Iceberg in a couple of days. Yes.
Yeah.
Toxo Viper. And Kristian, as you said with Iceberg, looking exactly like it would have looked in my head. We knew this was coming. We got a name reveal, but what did you guys think about the actual reveal of the character and what it comes with?
I was surprised I was excited for him. This is one of my favorite O-ring figures. When I got back into O-rings, this has been the first one that I bought multiples of. I thought they would just straight up do 1/1, but like I love the little extra flame effects.
Yeah.
Or exhaust effects for his backpack. I like the discolored skin and funky eyes.
Same.
Well, they've been doing that so much with these troopers who are, genetically enhanced or whatever. So it just kind of goes along with the trend they've done.
Yeah.
But it also makes sense as, the Toxo Viper is the worst of the worst jobs in Cobra. So, he's also probably suffering from some sickness.
The leaky suit brigade.
Right.
The goggles, they do not work.
So yeah, very excited to see this one. I like it. And yeah, as you said, the little exhaust effects to go up there are such a nice add-on. And then whatever blob of nastiness that weapon is shooting, I'm here for that as well. Although I kind of wish, and look, the loadout is plenty, but it would have been cool if there were like a little blob you could put like a figure's feet in or something, just like a little stand type thing. But look, this is plenty. He comes with plenty.
I wonder how long it is till we get a cesspool, considering that, it only took about, 2.5 years between the first Iron Grenadiers and us to finally get a Goldhead Destro.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yorktown Joe says, didn't BMAC say something like he may have inhaled too much of his own gas? I laughed when he mentioned that. Maybe I misheard him. You did not.
Oh, so he did? I didn't catch that.
He did. Because much like Yorktown Joe, I also have the humor of a 5-year-old and find stuff like that very funny.
Look, we're sitting here talking about toys. If anybody here tries to say they don't have like the sensibilities of a 5-year-old, they're lying. Mistress Armada. Now, we got a name drop on this, but we really had no idea what she was going to look like. I think this is awesome because it is a take on the Hiss Tank crew without being that tooling. The little goggle headset thing does crack me up because it looks like a little tiny snorkel. But I know it's like a communication thing, but it just off the figure like that, it's kind of funny looking. But this is awesome. It's a must-have. I loved this character in the comics, and I think they've done a good. And she has an Iron Grenadier look to her. Like she looks like she's going to fit in with that currently very small faction.
We got some bats, and we got some Iron Grenadiers soldiers, and yeah, we're finally going to get the rest of them.
Well, and we got
Metalhead, who's in some isn't he? Wait, doesn't he have he has Cold Slither? So he's a Cobra fan anyway. I don't even think he's listed as an Iron Grenadier on the figure.
Oh, I don't remember. It's been so a while.
Yeah, I think they lump him as a member of Cobra.
But it looks great. Her portrait, I cannot wait to get a better look at that portrait. I think it looks really cool. And that mask that she comes with is very interesting. Mm-hmm. It is a shame. This is where Lenny and Tony leaving, really for me affects the line. Because there's some great story behind that mask.
Yeah, the thought process behind that is Yeah, although who knows? They are still talking about these figures on other podcasts, so maybe we'll get some insight from them on a future full force or something.
Yeah. So this is a must-have. Oh, and I like her little fan of money as well.
This is not how she looked in the comics,
No.
correct? It's been so long since I've read that run. Like this is such a great way to update, because wasn't she just like jumpsuit girl?
She had. There's a couple of details that they kind of like were inspired by in it, but like these giant like kiss boots were not part of that original.
And finally, the mystery. Well, not finally, because we do have one more after this. Oh man, that I hope I remember to put the slide in. I might have to. Oh, I didn't, because it was separate. I'll have to grab that. So, you guys talk about Synapse.
My favorite thing about them doing these silhouetted renders is that they still leave in the gaps in the midsection where the joint is. They don't ever fill that in. And it's the first thing my eyes see every time they do one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is something we don't know much about this, but it looks like he has a third arm that just comes out of his back and slaps people around with it. And so now it makes me want to watch The Dark Backward, starring Judd Nelson.
Oh my gosh. If this is my G.I. Joe classified version of Dr. Otto, then with the hand growing out of his head, come on. But
I mean, you guys got to keep going, because I'm still working here.
I was looking up before, like what I know everybody was saying synapse, but like what is that? Because it's like chemical signals. So
it's the spaces in between your nerve endings, essentially. So it's and that with the that long hand thing with the things that are coming out of it, and that long like whip looking thing that he comes with. That's I'm seeing that and I'm thinking like, okay, there's going to be something. I don't know if it's going to be like an electric thing or if it's going to be some sort of like biological like nerve gimmick that he's going to have. But this is another thing, as when they were talking about this and they gave us this reveal, we're going to wish that whenever they talk about this more that we had Lenny there to talk about it, because he's going to sell it a lot better.
It's going to need some explaining. I'm expecting some kind of like cybernetic hacker anime inspired thing. But I'm excited. It looks cool.
I was originally thinking it would be some sort of outside of Headman, some sort of tied villain to Sundown, since that's our original Joe character that we're getting. But I don't know, nothing about the name or the silhouette right now really screams out to me that he would be.
Let's see. Okay, so we got one more render reveal that didn't make it into the live stream but was shared later on, and that is Rugged Duke. As they're referring to him. Dan Larson posted on Blue Sky, and I'm sure other places, that this is not Resolute Duke and is not Renegade's Duke. It is just a different take on Duke. My question is, and it is not, I'm sorry, it's not Energon Duke. Although it is also not Renegade's or Resolute Duke. It's my question is, why is it not those other things?
And I thought that we got a tease about Duke V3 at some point too, and that's what I figured they were going to be revealing. I was like, well, this is definitely not Duke V3.
Well, and I wonder if maybe there was just a tease of another Duke and the assumption was V3, but nobody ever said that, because that happens a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it looks great. It's a cool figure. It's a good take on Duke. However, I would rather have, we've already talked plenty of times about, like, I want Energon versions now. Duke, Mercer, We talked about on the review of GI Joe 22 or 23. Did we just review 23?
23, yeah.
23, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
We just talked about Chameleon, Mercer, like all these great Energon looks. I want these in the line. So like this is yes, it's cool, but I'll wait until I get one of those other ones that is actually a version of Duke that I want on my shelf. Because again, we're far past the price point of, oh, I'll just buy this. Like that price point was 2 price hikes ago. So for $27.99, this is not a Duke that I personally need.
Well, and I'm looking at this figure, and it's a decent looking, somewhat realistic looking military figure, and it could be anybody. Like, it doesn't scream Duke to me, other than the fact that it has some slight similarities to, as we mentioned, Resolute, with the vest and everything. But yeah, I mean, it's a neat looking army figure. But I've got a lot of neat looking army figures.
Yeah. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how this one does. But to be fair, now I don't know how the retro cardback Duke is right now, but the original classified Duke is, I believe, still in pretty high demand. So maybe they do just need to keep a Duke out there. And let's see. Oh no, name only reveals are next. So that's our last render reveal. Moving on to name only reveals.
Okay. Real quickly.
Sure.
It looks like retro cardback Duke has gone up in price, and there is a
really.
Yeah, I'm looking at one on anywhere from like $45 to $58.
It's bizarre how those got distributed, because so many of those retro card figures are like worthless because they distributed so many of them, and you see tons of them still at retail, and then a lot of them, like the Snake Eyes figure. Like, I don't know if anybody I ever saw that thing, and now it goes for like $150.
Yeah,
and that
I got
was the
lucky.
actual. I would have bought that had I seen it at
Right.
retail, because it's the Snake Eyes that I kind of wanted on my shelf.
Yeah, I got lucky and Walmart fulfilled my pre-order, but I never saw it for sale anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
He's not even available on Amazon that I can find, but you can still get Tiger Force Duke with the Ram,
which is a cool Duke, but it's probably not. It's not anybody's pick for the main Duke that they want in their collection.
So I guess I can actually see why they would put this Duke out there. And he has a beard.
Which, honestly, though, just goes to making him look more generic.
That's what makes him rugged. Because that's how people describe me.
We've got, yes, I often hear that old rugged Kristian.
Yes.
I think that's a Johnny Cash song. So, old rugged Kristian in his Utilikilt standing on top of the vent. We got some name-only reveals to talk about, and these are the images that they used in the live stream, and I think they have gotten a little more conscious of trying to use images that do correlate to the figure that's coming out. So a retro cardback Falcon is on the way, and he's looking real sunbow, and I'm curious to see how they handle it. If they do a nice high contrast Falcon with a good portrait, then, well, like the Night Force Falcon, I mean, that one had a solid portrait, then I wouldn't mind having a better Falcon, because that first one is it's one of my least favorite figures in the line.
Yeah, he was definitely one of the most disappointing figures in the line. And I've got the Night Force one. I still have him in the package because it's one that I got on clearance at Walmart, a year or so ago.
Yeah.
And I thought about just opening them up and head swapping, but I might just wait for this, because, this might be a better Falcon to represent my shelf.
Well, and again, I really like that Night Force Falcon a lot, but that can't be the only Falcon I had. Like, that can't be my main Falcon. That's crazy.
So I ended up using the head from Operation Blackout, Duke, the first release Duke. I ended up using that, repainted the hair to give me a Falcon with that, family resemblance. And while Falcon is not one of my favorite figures, at the announcement of this, I did chuckle, thinking, well, if the neck pegs are similar, I should buy this, paint the hair blonde, and then put it on my Operation Blackout Duke.
And that was the thing, is it wasn't just the portrait that was a letdown on that original Falcon.
Yeah.
It's also that the camo is so muddy and there's no contrast to it. It's just a dull figure compared to his Sunbow look, but even compared to the original Falcon figure. Like, that's a cool looking figure with camouflage that stands out in the line. So I'll be interested to see what this figure ends up looking like, and we may see next week. Or no, in 2 days. Sorry.
Yeah.
May see in 2 days. Also, name only reveal retro card back Cobra Valkyrie. And good, cool. I hope the blue matches the bulk of the other Cobra troops and not the retro card back Cobra Trooper, which, by the way, I will have one for sale at Joe Fest this weekend. Hit me up. But with this, again, to go back to the Energon universe, we have a significant new character that is a Valkyrie, but this figure won't be it, and that's disappointing to me. I'm not saying they shouldn't have done this as a retro card back. Cool. I'm glad that this is going to be out there for people to get, and I hope there are enough differences to make it worth picking up. But it does feel kind of like, yeah, you guys like that new character in Energon universe? We'll see you in 2028. Maybe. But always good to get troop builders, out in single form. And then finally, speaking of always good, finally, Flash is on the way. We've known for 2 years now, ever since we got the Quarrel figure. Not Quarrel.
Glenda. Yeah, sorry.
Ever since we got the Glenda figure, we've known that backpack and that rifle are out there. And we were, any day now. And now finally we've got the announcement of Flash. This is exciting. I'm glad it's going to be just a retro card back, like single carded style figure. Nothing funky that I have to go out of my way to get. Because this is a must have. This is a figure I need to get. So excited.
It's only taken them 6.5 years to get that 013 out, right?
So yeah, this is, we have a pretty good idea of what it's going to look like because we've seen that Grand Slam figure, but we'll see the portrait and everything else. So
yeah, I'm wondering if they do anything, because Classified doesn't typically just do straight repaints unless it's the same character. So I'm wondering if we're going to get like the exact same mold with just a different head, or if we're actually going to get like some different details, like maybe like different style gloves or boots. Or something
and I'm looking at this art, which is the original card art. Look at his helmet. His helmet almost looks more like Sci-Fi's helmet. It's not. Look at the way it goes down to his jaw.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different. I wonder if they'll just give him one of the helmets they already have, or if they'll pay attention to that detail and give him a more full helmet. And if they do, will it make people angry?
I kind of wanted them to do this one like as a retro, like they did with the Zap, and that be its first release. That way we kind of get it in more cartoony
It is. This
colors.
is a retro card back.
Oh, this is a retro? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All three of these are retro card backs.
I knew the first two were. I didn't catch them saying that this was a retro.
So one more note about this. This is a personal note to BMAC. Don't talk about customers pestering you. That commentary does not belong in your promotional live streams. Like, I get it. Believe me, I know they were pestering you. That is the correct word, but you don't say that out loud.
They need a little bit more filter. Media training.
So yeah, and again, that absolutely, and I'm not saying that as a negative or anything. That's on Hasbro. That's not on these guys whose dream was to make toys, not to go on to live streams and entertain picky nerds. Nobody should have to do that. I don't know why we do it. All right. So that is the end of the Hasbro live stream. It's a very short live stream that we've talked about far longer than I expected, but that's what we do here. We do have a little bit more news, some Joe Fest specific news that we're going to talk about. We mentioned the Extensive Enterprises Night Force Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes set that will be available at Joe Fest. This is an exclusive. It's $35 for the 2-figure set, which is a great deal. If you got their set from last year, you know they're very high quality figures, very satisfying, tons of accessories. But if you're one of the first 50 people to buy this set at Joe Fest, you will also receive a weapons pack.
Nice.
Very nice. Yeah, very nice selection of weapons in some different colors than what we've seen. This is a big selling feature for this set to me. Like, I'm going to make sure this is one of the first tables I stop by on Friday. Let's see here. So this is the Joe Fest 2026 exclusive 2-pack attendee bonus. The first 50 sets will include a bonus 15-piece accessory pack that they have assigned a $25 value. Pick up your exclusive sets starting this Friday at Joe Fest. And again, that 2-pack is just $35. So it's a great deal for 2 O-ring figures that are, again, nice quality, loaded with accessories. And then we've also got some Delta 17 news. Delta 17 will have engineering pilot samples of Wave 2 on display at Joe Fest. These are pre-production only. Their full run is still in development. Should be coming first half of 2027. Some of these colors are not final, but they'll be good for review purpose, or they're good for their review purposes. But some really interesting stuff in here. You can see another canine looking figure. There's a surfboard, female figure in there. Really excited to see all of this in person. Delta 17 always has a great presence at these shows. Ken and Steve are great to talk to, and I'm excited to pick up their exclusives as well. Because that Skystorm, that could end up being like exclusive of the year. Well, except for Cyndi Lauper. Cyndi Lauper will be exclusive of the year, but the Skystorm will potentially be a very close second. And that is the end of the news segment. Which brings us to everybody's favorite segment. Yes, you can see Destro gazing at that banana right now. So you know it's time for Sound Off. Sound Off is the segment where we take suggestions from the Audible Army as to what we're going to talk about on the show. If you're following Audible Interlude Podcast on Instagram, every single time we're doing a live stream, you can go that morning for the Sound Off post, and you can tell us what you want us to talk about. So let's get into it, because we've got some fun stuff this week. First up, Stuck in Carbonite. Which vehicle should Classified tackle next for a HasLab? Since the last one was for the Joes, will the next be Cobra? So we've talked about this basically every year. But it's interesting as the line goes on, as the economy drops further and further down a well. This is a conversation that's a little bit different every time we have it. So what do you guys think?
I mean, I mentioned mine a couple weeks ago because we've talked about how the Thunder Machine was not a classified, but then as time went on, we kind of got to the point where like, no, that's a classified right there. I still think that's probably the most logical one, but as we also talked about, without Lenny there, who knows? Because that was definitely something that he hinted at several times, unless it's already in the works.
I think that, we already know we're skipping this year. So I think that gives them permission to do a little reset from the Joe Cobra alternation if they feel they need to. I can't even imagine what next year might be like. I will say something that I think I said last year, in that with the prices being what they are, and even if the situation changes as we're doing this show, the reverberations from the whatever you want to call it in Iran are going to be felt for years. Quite frankly, the world economy may never really recover from it. So if there is a HasLab next year, I'm going to treat it as, well, it could be the last one we get. It may not be a financially viable model any longer, which I think may already be the case, but we got the question, so I'll answer it. So I'll say what I say is my last HasLab ever answer in the whale, because that's the last thing that I would say, oh, I have to get that.
Mine is still Thunder Machine.
Yeah.
That's the one I've got.
It's certainly more reasonable.
Well, I mean,
I'm trying to price point a whale. $7.99.
I've got a Joe vehicle. I've got a Cobra vehicle. I need something for the Dreadnoks.
Yeah.
Throw up Carlos's
Yep.
comment there.
Carlos Salina says, if they're not going to do a Moray, I'd take a Maggot, Stun, or Python Patrol Conquest X30. The Maggot would be a very good choice as well, and not one that I thought of, I think, until you just mentioned it.
I think the Maggot would be, they'd have to make it massive, because I think about how much they scaled up the Hiss tank.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my Maggot right now, and it's a lot bigger than the original Hiss. It would have to be like probably 20 inches long at a bare minimum.
Yeah, I like all those suggestions. Like they'd be cool. We talked about the Moray for a long time, contender, and I think it was even, rumor has it, it was an option in one of those surveys that they did. I wouldn't know anything about that. But I think we're past the point of that being practical. And also, to be honest, I think at this point, to choose a water vehicle for classified, a HasLab, is kind of crazy. Because then you're committing to, well, you have to make another like water vehicle to combat it.
You can always do a Devilfish. That's a small vehicle.
Yeah.
I'd rather them do a made to order. Oh my gosh, my mind just went blank. The water moccasin.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I would rather have that. That would be,
because
like,
we've already got
size-wise,
Copperhead, and I feel like he needs his vehicle. But it would take a lot of electronics to make that be worth being a.
Or you scale that up again, because I mean the original water moccasin's a very small toy.
Yeah.
Compared to what that would probably be, and the way it was depicted in animation and things like that, so that you could scale that one up. You were saying made to order, and we saw the Toxo Viper earlier, and I was thinking, I thought you were going to say a septic tank, because that should be the next made to order.
Next made to order, that would be great. Yeah. Next up, Silent Interlude. I would like to see a classified Fast Blast Viper. He could be recolored as a Heat Viper later on. Thanks for the great show. Keep up the good work. Yeah, I agree. I would love to see that. Although I would prefer the Fast Blast version 2, the more colorful one. But yeah, I'd like to see that concept. And I'd like to see Heat Viper.
Yeah, if it gets me the Heat Viper, I'm 100% for it.
Scale Model Joes. Do you think sculpting and design have advanced enough that spy troops could be done effectively in classified? Would you want them? So to answer the first part of the question, yes, absolutely. With the way they've handled overlays with other figures like Tripwire and stuff. What's his name? Budo. Look at Tripwire and Budo. Absolutely, you could do spy troops, looking at those guys. As far as would you want them, If they were somehow regular figure price, yes. But if they're deluxes, which I am afraid they probably would be, then probably not.
Yeah, I
So
would.
that's purely a price thing. Purely a price thing.
I would love to see them, but I would love to see them more as a retro card back kind of thing than.
I mean, they couldn't, because for the Spy Troops gimmick,
Yeah,
they have to have the removable overlays, and that's more accessories than come with a regular.
yeah.
figure, I think. Either
Gets
that
me a
or you're gonna have
scalpel in the line, then yes.
Well, but I think he would be a different case because he's not technically like I would imagine Scale Model Joe's is specifically asking about the figures,
The
that
ones
had the
that have-
disguises.
yeah.
Right. Like the other characters in that line, sure, do whatever. But I like specifically if you're asking about the Spy Troops,
The gimmick ones, yeah.
I don't, unless the base figure is just some bare bones, like no overlays, no nothing. In which case, I don't think people are going to be super satisfied with them. So, yeah, I would love to see it, but I need figures, or I need prices to come down about 60% first.
Yeah, I imagine those are going to be it'd be pretty expensive. And again, we're not talking about like the characters that this target audience grew up loving. This is stuff that
Right.
a lot of people who are buying classified now weren't even familiar with GI Joe during that time.
Well, but there are also people significantly younger than us who are buying classified who did, like, we have people in the Audible Army that grew up with this era.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the market is there, and perhaps there are more of them that don't feel like they're being served right now.
If you gave me the choice that you could have a deluxe Spy Troop shipwreck, right, with the turtleneck that comes with the Cobra Commander army, or new figure Rot Claw with a dinosaur for the same price point, I'm taking the Spy Troops.
You're paying $52 for that shipwreck?
I also love shipwreck, but I'm just saying, like, if it came down,
I get what you're saying.
if it came down to it, because I do really like a lot of the designs in Spy Troops, and if you said, okay, we're gonna skip some tossing pets in with figures and just do more deluxe figures that have these overlays, I would be more tempted by that. Me right now, me a couple of years ago would not have said that, but I've also very much been on a Spy Troops.
Well,
and
look,
Venom versus Valor
right
now. So,
you might be in luck, because by the time we get a Spy Troops shipwreck, it'll probably be $53.
And that's just for the figure.
Right. You'll have to send off for the spy accessories. All right, let's see here. Ed at the Beach. Which minor characters from the G.I. Joe comic would you like to see in the Energon universe? I want to see Quinn. Quinn would be great. Noel?
Well, and it ties in perfectly because we have Transformers crossover. Dr. Sidney Biggles Jones.
Oh, yeah. Always requested.
And it's sticking with, I want to see more females in the line. I actually went with Candy Apple.
Well, funny you should say that, because I went with Professor Apple. Because, and if you bring in one, you're in all likelihood going to bring in the other, but maybe in a very different way. But guys, can you imagine how the Energon universe equivalent of the Cobra Island saga might go?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, just thinking about, so that's why I said Professor Apple, is because he was the mastermind behind that. And just thinking about, like, figuring out what was going on would be delightful, because they'd be laying out clues and teases, and you'd be like, oh wait, is this what they're doing? I don't know. Wait, maybe they're doing something different. And then like a year later, when that freaking thing comes up out of the ocean, to be like, oh, oh, and it turns out Cobra Island is Scorponok or something. I don't know.
Well, I'm just thinking that you have Energon, which is the ultimate MacGuffin in these stories.
Oh, yeah, right.
We've established we can do anything with it. It is the vibranium of our G.I. Joe shared universe at this point.
Yeah.
So, concentrated a bunch of Energon and it created a fault in the, in the Gulf of Mexico. There's a billion ways you could do that story.
Yes. It's going to be, if they choose to do it, it's going to be awesome. All right, let's see here. Brett White, everybody check out popheist.com. This being Pride Month and Yojo June, I have to ask, will we ever see a gay character in the Energon Joe comic? There's not much romance in the comic, but being LGBTQ is an identity beyond just who you date. It feels like Joe, despite being very diverse and progressive regarding inclusion, is behind here, even though there's a wealth of story and backstory to explore. See Greg Rucka's Batwoman. And by the way, if you have not read Greg Rucka's run on Batwoman, oh my gosh, one of my favorite comics of all time. Absolutely fantastic. So this is absolutely, this should happen. And there are probably those who would think, well, with the climate being what it is right now, maybe it's not the best time for it to happen. And I would disagree with that. I would say now is the time. It absolutely should happen.
Right. That's why it should happen.
I also think
we have got, hang on, I'm soapboxing.
Yep, nope, go ahead.
We have got a backwards moron as our Secretary of Defense who is trying to erase the military legacy of the LGBTQ community. They have always been here, and they will be here long after that idiot is in prison and irrelevant, which will happen. So I think we get on this now. We start making a statement now. We have that inclusion now. We represent that diversity now because it has been a critical part of our military for longer than the public has been aware. And they deserve that representation. Those troops, those people who have not just devoted their lives to defending this country, but have dealt with additional adversity for that honor, for that privilege, to honor us. They deserve that recognition and they should be represented. And it is absolutely the time that it should be happening. All right, stepping off my soapbox.
But I also think over the years within the fandom, or maybe it I've just been lucky enough with the sort of friends I've made in this fandom that it just seems accepted that Shipwreck is giant bisexual energy and Alpine and Bazooka are a couple. and I think I can't see Robert Kirkman and them ignoring that. I would be very disappointed if we got nothing else if Bazooka and Alpine are introduced in the comics and they are not a couple, because I just feel like that is Joe lore at this point.
Well, and the other aspect of this, though, is how it's handled.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'll tell you right now, straight white cis me is not equipped to properly tell that story or properly write those characters. Because as Brett pointed out, being LGBTQ is an identity beyond. It's not a romance thing. It's about the person and representing that life properly. So that's another aspect of it that I'm not saying it should put any delay on it happening, but they have to get it right. If they're going to do it, they have to get it right. And they need the right creators to do that. And I'm not saying that Joshua Williamson is not. I don't know. But it's got to be handled properly. And it has to be more than just, oh, look at Alpine and Bazooka kissing or whatever.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, it doesn't have to be integral to the story or any of the actions they take. There's a way to incorporate it because people are people, and you know what? All sorts of people interact with one another, and they may just happen to, you know, be a little different than other people. So there's,
Right.
it can easily happen in here without, I mean, I'm sure it will still raise the ire of certain people in the community,
Oh, of course. Of course.
but there are ways that you can do it that are subtle and, and not done in a way that, I think will put everybody off. That,
Look,
I think
I'll tell you right now, I'm going to hear it this weekend from someone about calling Pete Hegseth a dum-dum, but I stand by that.
I just think back to the interview that I saw that Hama did, and I briefly mentioned to him in the Dragon Con panel where he was like, are there gay or LGBTQ plus GI Joe members? And he's like, yeah, just like when he served, there were. Never really came up. It just was accepted because your life is on the line and the person standing next to you is fighting alongside you, and
Right.
and that's how I feel like it needs to be handled. It doesn't need a special issue. It doesn't need a big hoorah.
Right.
It's just
there.
there's
Yeah.
Alpine and Bazooka, and they're together. Just like,
Yep.
there's still speculation about how Scarlet and Jinx were acting in the Scarlet miniseries. You can
Right.
definitely read that. Like,
But at the
they
same time,
are-
we also want to make sure that we're not establishing that it's not possible for people to have very close, intimate,
correct.
platonic relationships. And so I think there is a fine line there, because we don't want to just imply, because the Alpine and Bazooka thing, yes, it's kind of established lore, but at the same time, you can also just be really good friends. Like with there's a few other like pairings like that I see. Everybody ships them, but it's like, or maybe they're just friends, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't want to just establish that as accepted because we're seeing it in our head. I mean, there's a lot of ways that they could go with that. I will say this too. If anybody read any of the Aubrey Citizen stuff, I know that was very off-putting because there was a lot of like social justice stuff that was placed in there, but it was placed in such a way that it even drove people like me off a little bit. And so there's a way that you need to handle this the right way.
Well, it was clumsy.
Yes.
It
was also
not-
as subtle as a freight train.
And that's it. Look, I feel if you listen to our Masters of the Universe review, some of the humor in that movie, it's similar to that. It needs to be done with intent, not just I'm going to shoehorn this in there.
Yeah.
Because that's what you have to. I feel like you have to have a narrative reason. It has to make sense within the context of the universe. There needs to be intent behind whatever it is you're creating, and that's the same thing with this. It doesn't need to be just a ha-ha panel. It needs to be, no, this is this character, this is what they are, and they make these decisions this way or whatever, and that's why I say you got to have the right person writing it. All right, well, we got one more. White Vegeta, who was here with us earlier. I don't know if he's stuck around or not. With Joe Fest just around the corner. Are you prepared? I am not. Silly face. You got a few more days. You'll be all right. I bet when I see you Friday, you'll have everything together, ready to go. I feel like I'm prepared. Like I said, I've got all my totes are ready to go. My buttons are ready to go. I've got the panel lined up. I've talked to everybody. We know what we're doing. Yeah, I feel like I am prepared. Noel?
Is it?
I mean, as far as the event itself, I don't really have any expectations or anything, so nothing to really prepare. The only thing that's making me nervous is this is my first road trip I've taken since switching to the world of electric vehicles, and I've been making sure that I know that I have a place to charge that sucker once I get to Augusta, because it's about I can get a close to 300 miles on a full charge probably.
Yeah.
But that's 145 miles each way, so that's pushing it. So there are charging stations at the Marriott. I just hope there's enough. And if not, I've been looking at other places nearby where I can do a fast charge
yeah.
somewhere.
Wow. Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that. Wow.
That's one that's making me nervous. And I suppose if I wanted to, I could just be like, "Hey, Rebecca, I'm taking your car for the weekend," and just take her gasoline powered.
Yeah, but you got to find out. You gotta do the thing and find out. Kristian, are you prepared to follow along at home?
As I tell my cosplay friends, is it really a con if you're not panic packing in the last 48 hours? So you've got ample amounts of time.
Well, that is it for Sound Off, which brings us to our final segment, Joe and Tell. So we've got something a little different this week. We all have the same Joe and Tell. Since mine is still in the box, I'm going to do a dramatic unboxing here. If I can find my box cutter. Uh-oh. All right, I'm going to have to do the dangerous thing and use a pair of scissors because I think my box cutter's across the room. But looks like lots of people got these in today. Now, did you guys get... I got a shipping notice, but again, same thing that happened last with my Universal Monsters Reaction Plus. I got the notice that they shipped. USPS never updated it, and then they showed up. Same thing happened with these. Oh, I'm excited.
I think I deleted my shipping notification once they showed up today, but I got the notification that they'd shipped.
Oh boy, these cards are bent AF. It's a good thing 18th. I don't care.
Yeah, and I get the same thing. My cards were very bent when I got them today, but
yeah, this is very bad, honestly.
Yeah, you can see
they need to do better than this.
I mean, I'm opening all these, so I'm not too worried about it. But
I am too. But when you're shipping a customer a $25 figure and you don't know if they're keeping it meant on card or not, you got to do better than this. This I've never gotten a product from Super 7 in this condition.
They packed it differently than they normally do. Like normally, the bottom figure is just at the bottom of the box, and they wadded too much paper in there.
Yeah, the paper mashed them up. So I'm going to send Rudy a message. Poor old Rudy.
Message to
so Lady J, we got Sunbow style Lady J. Oh man, she looks great. Yeah, look at the pockets on her, and I'll be doing reviews of these on the channel. So I'm not going to open these up yet.
Her backpack is the thing that I love. They've got all the different javelin heads in there, and it's kind of reflected on the card art. I think she looks fantastic.
Which, by the way, I like the card art. It's like an update of the original art, but with the Sunbow look. Like it looks really good.
Yeah.
Which I guess it was the same on the 250 one, but I honestly just kind of opened that up and put it on the shelf. And I wouldn't have bought it if I'd known this one was coming this soon. So yeah, Lady J looks awesome. I've got the Gunner Viper is next in my pile, Viper Gunner. To be honest, I jumped the gun when these went up and just ordered the whole set. I would not have bought this guy if I'd taken 2 more seconds to think about it. It's not that I don't like it. It's just that I didn't need to spend $25 on this.
Right.
See, I'm the opposite. I bought the 4, and then I thought, man, if I got a troop builder, I need at least 2. So I thought about buying a second one.
Well, maybe
shipping from Super 7. So
well, yeah, that's true. So it's no advantage to and I mean now that it's here, I'll keep it because it does look really cool.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see how to look like interspersed with my other Vipers on the shelf.
I like the level of shininess on the visor. Looks really good. It's a cool figure. I've just been buying a lot of reaction. I ordered the Visionaries the second they went up. I've been buying a lot of Reaction Plus lately, and I really didn't need this guy. Which, I mean, Noel, you're still a completist, right?
For the most part, there may be something.
I mean, for these. For the
Yeah.
No, I think you've gotten them all, haven't you?
Well, yeah. Although I sold off one of the Zartans that I've holding on the
Oh
the
yeah,
exclusives,
that's right.
and I've got the
Yeah.
other one that I probably will wind up selling off too,
Okay.
because I don't need those convention exclusive Zartans. But
Deep
all the
Six.
regular retail stuff, I believe I've gotten everything.
Oh, you went ahead and
He looks
opened
good.
up.
I told you it was going to be a struggle for me not to open them up while the show was going on. So,
Well, we'll go ahead and do Zartan since you've got him right there. The silver looks fantastic.
yeah, I was nervous about the shoulder armor, but I like how they attached it. It doesn't hinder the
It doesn't interfere with
articulation
the
at
movement.
all.
Hey, I will
Now
say
I
As I
just-
said before the show, we finally get one where silver rivets wouldn't matter, and they're covered. So
they're covered up. I will say he seems a bit necklace.
He is, yeah.
Like he looks like one of the like 2002 Zartans that had just like the chin was sitting on his chest. So that's a little weird. But otherwise he looks great. I like how they've done the colors and the fact that he's got the bow and the arrows. Now, is that?
Oh man, of all the time.
That's interesting. So Lady J's backpack is the same as Zartan's backpack, but they have different things in them.
Oh, so a 2-piece mold, yeah.
Well, it doesn't look like it's a 2-piece mold. It's just the same shape. That's interesting.
I didn't think to grab my UV light before
Oh yeah,
the show so I could test out his color changing.
And then Deep Six, who we have wanted forever, really. I mean, I always wanted these looks for like Deep Six and Torpedo, and like because I wanted guys to go in the Whale.
Mhm.
So this is great.
Yeah, Whale or like my tactical battle platform.
Yeah.
If I ever wind up getting a flag, like characters like this are always welcome. I know that they were trying to match the comic art, but I kind of wish that the vest was a little bit more orange. Just would have popped more.
Yeah, I agree. I'm fine with it how it is, but yes, I agree. It would be cool if it was brighter.
And his likeness, I saw this when I saw the pictures, but I can't help but notice when I'm looking at it, the figure likeness, he's got a little John Cena there.
I can't see it.
I see what you did there. Oh wait, I can't see.
No,
what
you
did
didn't.
there.
And the fact that he comes with the axe and with the laser rifle is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, great set of figures. Even the Viper Gunner, which, like I said, I wouldn't have ordered, but I guess I'm kind of glad I got it. So it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I may wind up picking up another Viper Gunner and another Lady J just to give, because Rebecca collects Lady J's since that was her very first Joe costume. So,
well, that is all the show we got for you this week. Our music is by Chris Lodge of Neon Warlords. Check out Neon Warlords on YouTube, on Bandcamp, wherever you check out your music. They are absolutely incredible. Follow us on Instagram at Audible Interlude Podcast. Kristian, where can we find that toy photography you do so well?
You can find me on Instagram and Blue Sky under the name Legion Cub.
And Noel, why don't you tell us a little bit about The Finest?
The Finest is an international G.I. Joe costuming club raising money for our wonderful charity partner, Canines for Warriors. There will be a Finest table at Joe Fest. So if you're going this weekend, drop by and, donate and maybe pick up some cool swag and talk some Joe while you're there.
And if you're going to be at Joe Fest, be sure and check out the Audible Interlude 3D printing and customs panel. They will be doing 10 a.m. Saturday in the Oglethorpe room. Obviously, follow us on socials, and you'll get all the information about that there. It's going to be a great time. And our next live stream, which wraps up Yojo June and celebrates our Audible anniversary, is Monday the 29th. Put it on your calendar. Until then, Yo Joe.
Cobra.
Enemy.